little learners. Welcome back to our pre-K and TK classroom. My name is Miss Lara, and I'm going to be your teacher this morning. I'm so glad that you're with me today. Now, when I put my hand to my ear, I want you to tell me your name as loud as you can, wherever you are. Ready? Oh, hello. Let's see if I can guess your special letter. Here's my board. I'm going to put a big line right here, and then I'm going to put a little line on top. What letter have I made? The letter T. Is that your special letter? Ooh, some are saying yes, some are saying no. Don't worry if I didn't get it yet. I'll add to it. Today is day 1 of the 5 days that we're going to be together this week. Let me add my magnet on the board here. And this week is a very special week because we're going to be talking about things that send a chill up our spine. Spooky things, because it's the season for things that can scare us. We're going to talk about a little old lady today who's very brave and isn't scared of anything. And we may even talk about a pumpkin that doesn't belong. So I can't wait to get started. Now this week we also have a new song that I want to introduce you to. Our new song is about feelings. Now you may recognize this song because the tune is Where is Thumpkin? Have you ever sang that? Where is Thumpkin? Where is Thumpkin? Here I am. So I have some pumpkins here, and we're going to change the lyrics to Where's my pumpkin? And each pumpkin has a different feeling on it. So we're going to sing about how the pumpkin is feeling. And we'll sing this song all week long, so you'll get a chance to learn it with me. Are you ready? Here it goes. Where's my pumpkin? Where's my pumpkin? Here it is. Here it is. Loved jack-o'-lantern, loved jack-o'-lantern, looks like this, looks like this. And look, I can tell he feels so loved because he has hearts on him. All right, let's do another one. Where's my pumpkin? Where's my pumpkin? Here it is, here it is. Ooh, happy jack-o'-lantern, happy jack-o'-lantern, looks like this. Looks like this. Can you make a happy face like our jack-o'-lantern? Let's do a couple more. Where's my pumpkin? Where's my pumpkin? Here it is. Here it is. Ooh, angry jack-o'-lantern, angry jack-o'-lantern, looks like this. Looks like this. I wonder what the next one is going to feel. Where's my pumpkin? Where's my pumpkin? Here it is. Here it is. Surprise jack-o'-lantern, surprise jack-o'-lantern, looks like this. Looks like this. Ooh, I can tell it's surprised because look at its mouth. It's making an oval shape. Can you make your mouth make an oval shape like that? Ooh, I wonder what it saw to make it surprised. Last one. Where's my pumpkin? Where's my pumpkin? Here it is. Here it is. Oh, sad jack-o'-lantern, sad jack-o'-lantern. Looks like this. Looks like this. Oh, so many feelings in our pumpkins, just like we feel every day, huh? Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad and mad. Now I think it is time for Miss Maria's letter. Ooh, there it is. She's going to give us a clue about what book she delivered today. Let's see. Here's our letter. Now remember, we're practicing learning how to read. So whenever we read, we start at the left and slide to the right. So let's do our song. This is the left. This is the right. When we read, we start at the left and slide to the right. Let's see what it says. Dear Miss Lara, sometimes I feel scared. Sometimes I feel scared too. Is it normal to feel afraid? What do you think? I think it's normal. That means everyone feels afraid sometimes. when I feel frightened, which is another word for scared, my body shakes and quivers. How can I be brave when scared? Oh, that's a really good question. When you're frightened, how can you be brave? I wonder if Miss Maria left a book about being brave in here. Let's see. She did. Look at this book. It's called The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. Look at, here she is. I think she's going to this cabin very bravely. Now I have a very special surprise for you today because I'm not going to be reading the book. It's actually going to be my friend, Mrs. G. She came over to read the book for us. So Mrs. G, thank you so much for joining us. Let's hear her read the book, The Little Old Lady Who Is Not Afraid of Anything.
Hi, friends. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And thanks, Miss Lara, for having me here. The Little Old Lady Who Wasn't Afraid of Anything is one of my absolute favorite books. I love it so much because the little old lady reminds me of my own grandma. I was really lucky, and my grandma lived with us for most of my life. And I got to know my grandma, and she was brave and strong, and she reminds me of this little old lady. Now, as I've gotten older, I learned that even adults get scared sometimes, but it's how we handle feeling scared that's the most important. So let's read the book and we'll see how this little old lady, who's not afraid of anything, handles it when maybe she starts to feel a little scared. All right. Once upon a time, there was a little old lady who was not afraid of anything. One windy afternoon, the little old lady left her cottage and went for a walk in the forest to collect her herbs and spices, nuts and seeds. She walked so long and far that it started to get dark. There was only a sliver of a moon shining through the night. The little old lady started to walk home. Suddenly, she stopped. Right in the middle of the path, there were two big shoes, and the shoes went clomp, clomp. Oh, goodness. Get out of my way, you two big shoes. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady. And on she walked down the path. But behind her, she could hear those two shoes go clomp, clomp. A little further on, the little old lady stumbled into a pair of pants, and those pants went wiggle, wiggle. Get out of my way, you pair of pants. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady, and she walked on. But behind her, she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. And farther still, the little old lady bumped into a shirt. And that shirt went shake, shake. Get out of my way, you silly shirt. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady. And on she walked, a little bit faster. But behind her, she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. And one shirt go shake, shake. A little ways on, the little old lady came upon two white gloves and a tall black hat. And the gloves went clap, clap, and the hat went nod, nod. Get out of my way, you two white gloves and you tall black hat. I'm not afraid of you, she said. And on she walked, just a little bit faster. But behind her, she could hear two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. And one hat go nod, nod. By now, the little old lady was walking quite fast. She was very near her cottage, and when she was startled by a very huge, very orange, and very scary pumpkin head, and the head went boo! Boo! Oh my goodness. I wonder, do you think the little old lady is starting to feel scared? If you said yes, then I agree with you. I think she's starting to feel scared. But remember, it's how we handle feeling scared that makes the difference. So let's keep reading. This time, the little old lady did not stop to talk. She did not stop at all. She ran. But behind her, she could hear those two shoes go clump, clump. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. Two gloves go clap, clap. And one hat go nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. The little old lady did not look back. She ran as fast as she could and didn't stop to catch her breath until she was safe inside her cottage with the door locked. She sat in her chair by the fire and she rocked and rocked. It was so quiet in her cottage before she heard knock, knock on the door. Should she answer it? Well, she was not afraid of anything, so she went to the door and opened it. And what do you think she saw? She saw two shoes that go clump, clump. One pair of pants that go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. And two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. I'm not afraid of you, said the little old lady bravely. What do you want anyway? We've come to scare you. You can't scare me, said the little old lady. Then what will become of us? The pumpkin head suddenly looked unhappy. I have an idea, said the little old lady, and she whispered into the pumpkin's ear. The pumpkin head nodded, and its face seemed to brighten. And the little old lady said goodnight, closed the door, and whistled on her way to bed. The next morning, she woke up early. She went to her window and looked out into her garden. And what do you think she saw? Two shoes go clomp, clomp. One pair of pants go wiggle, wiggle. One shirt go shake, shake. And two gloves go clap, clap. One hat go nod, nod. And one scary pumpkin head go boo, boo. And scare all the crows away. Wow, what a brave woman. When she felt scared, she went to her home and she went fast. I think her home made her feel safe. So when we feel scared, it's okay to find someone or somewhere to help us feel safe. Because remember, friends, it's okay to feel scared. It's how you handle it. Thank you so much, Miss Lara, for letting me come here and read. And thank you, friends. Bye-bye. See you another time.
I'm so glad we had a guest reader. Thank you so much, Miss G. Now, I think that's my favorite story now, too, because of the way she read it. One of my favorite parts of this story was when there was a knock on the door and the little old lady had to prove how brave she was when she went over and went to the door and answered it. What was your favorite part? Now remember, you can check out more stories like this on the Sora app and at your local library. Right now, we're going to practice a foundational skill so that you can read books to me. I thought we would practice retelling the story. Now on my board, I have the different parts, the thing that knocked on the old lady's door to scare her. I have a shirt, some pants, gloves, a scary pumpkin head, some shoes, and let's see how we're gonna put these together. Now, do you remember the very first thing that the old lady saw when she was on the road? They went clomp, clomp. It was the shoes, that's right. So we're gonna put the shoes right on there. Let's put them down here. And then what was the next thing she saw? I can't quite remember, so when I forget, I like to check the story. So here's her finding the shoes, and she still continued to walk. Then she found a pair of pants. And what did the pants do? They said wiggle, wiggle. And then we're gonna put the pants here because we're building our scary pumpkin head man. There he is. And what was the next thing that they found? Let's see. Then she found a shirt. That's right. And the shirt went shake, shake. So let's put a shirt right on there. And look at this. I like this shirt. It seems like a spooky shirt all in gray. And the next thing she saw were some gloves. So we're gonna put the gloves right on the shirt. I'm gonna reach over and grab the gloves and put them on there. Ooh, grab and gloves both have the same beginning sound, don't they? And the last thing to make our person extra spooky was a giant pumpkin head, wasn't it? Let's put our pumpkin head right on there. Look at that. You're not scared, are you? There's our pumpkin person, looking a little frightening. Now, I love this book so much, but there is some artwork that I want to introduce you to that will kind of remind you of being scared. So today, in our project place, we're going to explore it. So let me walk on over there. All right. So I'm going to move my chart over so we can see our artist. So our artist that I wanted to introduce to you is named Edvard Munch. See, that's a picture of him right there. Doesn't he look all official? Now, he was an artist that's Norwegian. He lived a long time ago, and his most famous painting is called The Scream. It's actually the one right here in the center. Can you guess why it's called The Scream? Yes, it looks like somebody screaming. They have their hands by their cheeks and going, ah! Now, Edvard Munch was a very, very talented person, but he also had a lot of tragedy in his life. Can you believe that his mother and his sister both passed away of illness? And his father, well, he had mental illness, which is he was just not right in his head, and he was really having a lot of struggles. So Edvard Munch created this expressionist portrait that is supposed to make us feel a certain way. And for me, it makes me feel a little scared. So we're gonna take a look at his artwork and we're actually gonna recreate it. Now for this project, you're gonna need a couple of supplies. You're going to need some paper and some scissors, glue, and then depending on what medium you want to use. So I have two kinds of things that you can use. You can always use crayons, but I got fancy today and brought my oil pastels, and I also brought my chalks. So if you want to follow along with me, you can use chalks, oil pastels, and crayons. So we're going to be recreating a background that looks like Edvard Munch's The Scream. So let's take a look at it right here. Look at the top. What kinds of colors do you see? Do you see warm colors or do you see cooler colors? Yes, I see warm colors too, and they're in lines and they're wavy, aren't they? So I'm actually going to use my oil pastels and I'm going to create some wavy lines that are in warm colors like this. So that to recreate my background, I thought it'd be really fun to make a scream of our own. And if you get to do this in a classroom like I've seen, you actually get to write about the things that scare you. So I did some orange wavy lines on top. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of a lighter orange here. So if I look at my painting, you'll see there's different hues or tones of orange. There's like yellows and orange, all warm colors. So I'm gonna add some yellows right here, oranges. Now remember, you can go as slow or as fast as you need to. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can hit pause and take time to create your background. I'm gonna go a little bit faster today. All right, and here's the top part of my art piece. I'll show it to you here. I might add some yellows. Let me grab it here. Maybe some orange down here, all in waves. So what do you think? Is it looking like this? Oh, a little bit, huh? Now, I want you to notice here, look at this part. That's actually a river in wavy lines, and you'll notice that he used cool colors there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use cool colors to make our river. Okay, so let me grab my blue, and let's see. You don't have to replicate or copy it exactly how it is. It can be however you want. However you want to create your art. That's the fun part of doing this. So I might add a little bit of purple. My river's wavy and going through. Just like that, I'm using some cool colors, maybe a little bit of green over in this direction. Why do you think he chose the colors that he chose? I wonder. Well, I was reading that expressionists, they chose very bright colors because they want you to have a reaction to them. So they can't be plain colors because then you might think they're boring and pass right by them, huh? So here's what it's looking like so far. Now I'm going to try to make my bridge right here. Do you see there's a bridge? Now, did you notice that there's two people walking on the bridge in the distance? There's even some boats. So I'm going to create my bridge. I think I'm going to use a brown. So I'm going to take my oil pastel and go across this way to make my bridge. Now, another thing that you can do is you can do mixed media, so you can actually paint your bridge or cut it out of brown paper and glue it on. Today, I'm going to use my oil pastels. But you can use whatever it is you have at home. If you have crayons, colored pencils, even little bits of colored paper that you cut out from magazines. I'm just going to fill in the rest here, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to complete my project because we are running out of time here. Look at that. Is it looking like, does it look like my background here? A little bit. What is missing? Huh? A person screaming, isn't it? All right. So what I'm going to do is I took a picture of myself screaming earlier, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to glue it onto my picture here. Now, if you don't have a picture of yourself that you can print out, you can actually draw a picture of yourself or anybody else. Wouldn't it be fun to show your parents screaming? And then you can pretend that you've caused them to scream by doing something, maybe not putting away your Legos. That would make me scream. Okay, I'm going to glue it on here. Now with oil pastels, the really good thing that you can do is actually take a little paper towel and you can rub on the paper and blend them together. So here we go. And this is what my Edward Monk inspired picture is looking like. Hold on, don't go backwards. Here we go. Look at that, what do you think? I hope that you're inspired to try your own. Now, before I leave you, I want to show you a few of my recommended books. Now, I went to the local library and I thought, here are some books that you can check out. I promise I'll return them today. So before we say goodbye, I want you to try to check out the skeleton book because you might see skeletons around in the store. And this one actually shows you different skeletons from different animals and what inside of your body looks like. Kind of fun, huh? Kind of creepy, but kind of fun. And then there's another book, The Too Scary Story, about a little girl and a little boy that went on a walk just like the little old lady, but they didn't see a shirt or anything else. They were actually more scared of the dark. So it'll take you on a journey to see how they deal with being afraid. All right, boys and girls, I hope that you come back tomorrow because we have a lot more fun things planned. Tomorrow we're going to read a book about carrots that are creepy. Creepy vegetables? Who wouldn't want to read that kind of book, right? We're also going to finish our Edward Monk exploration, and we're going to do some prints using some paint. So if you want to join me, bring some red, yellow, and blue paint, which we're going to be mixing, and some paper. So I hope that you come back then. Okay, until Miss Lara sees you again, I'll send you a big smooch and a big squeeze, and remind you to read, to play, to use your 5 senses to think like a scientist every day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.